I saw this illumination that was moving with respect to the stars. We were smart enough to not say, Houston, there's a light out there that's following us. So technically, it becomes an unidentified flying object.
When Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon, breaks into tears while talking about it, the world pays attention. His voice trembles and he says softly, "The moon is not what you think. It isn't a confession or a mystery. It's something deeper." Decades later, as science and AI uncover new lunar secrets, Aldrin's words feel less poetic and more prophetic. Maybe we never really knew the moon at all. But what exactly did Buzz Aldrin see during those historic moments on the lunar surface? Why does he struggle to speak about it even now? And what has NASA been keeping from the public for over 50 years? The answers are more extraordinary than anyone imagined. The weight of the moon, an astronaut's burden. When Buzz Aldrin speaks about the moon, his tone carries a gravity that feels almost extraterrestrial. It's not just nostalgia, it's reverence laced with something heavier, something that lingers between pride and sorrow. Few men on Earth have seen what he has seen, and fewer still have returned with words that could even begin to describe it. The moment he calls magnificent desolation has haunted him for more than half a century. In multiple interviews, from CBS News to various documentary appearances, Aldrin has revealed fragments of this emotional complexity. Sometimes he smiles, remembering the weightless hop across the powdery grey surface. Other times his voice breaks when he recalls looking back at Earth, a small shimmering marble suspended in an endless black ocean. "It's a beautiful sight," he once said softly, "but it reminds you of how far from home you are." During the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11 in 2019, the cameras caught something unexpected. As a reporter asked what moment stood out most, Aldrin paused. His eyes welled up. "The silence," he murmured. "It was absolute. No wind, no sound, no life, just us." That silence, he explained, wasn't peaceful. It was deafening. The absence of everything familiar, air, sound, motion, made him realize in a single breath just how fragile human existence truly is. To most of the world, the moon landing was a triumph of science and courage, a banner moment in history. But for the men who stood there, it was also something deeply unsettling. Aldrin's tears weren't about fear or failure, they were about understanding. "We were farther from home than anyone had ever been," he later reflected. "And yet, somehow, I felt closer to everything." The journey to the moon, precision meets destiny. But long before the tears, the silence and the reflection, there was the mission, the most daring voyage in human history. In 1969, Buzz Aldrin wasn't yet a symbol of cosmic humility. He was a precision-minded pilot, an engineer, a man whose calm intellect had been honed in the vacuum of military and scientific discipline. But the moon would soon transform him from a technician into something else, a philosopher of space. The Apollo 11 mission was not built on emotion, it was built on mathematics, risk, and resilience. Thousands of people, decades of research, and billions of dollars culminated in that July 16th launch from Kennedy Space Center. As the Saturn V rocket roared into the sky, Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and Michael Collins sat compressed inside a capsule smaller than a modern SUV, surrounded by switches, wires, and the hum of machinery carrying the weight of human hope. Aldrin had trained meticulously for this. A former Air Force pilot with a doctorate from MIT, he was the first astronaut to earn a PhD. His dissertation was on orbital rendezvous mechanics, a topic that became essential to docking spacecraft in lunar orbit. His nickname among NASA colleagues was Dr. Rendezvous, a testament to his meticulousness and cool under pressure. To him, the moon was not yet mystical. It was a target, a destination, a set of coordinates to be reached and conquered. But space has a way of humbling even the most pragmatic minds. After 3 days in the black void between worlds, Apollo 11 approached lunar orbit. The crew was silent as they crossed into the moon's shadow and watched Earth disappear behind grey curvature. For a few brief minutes, all human communication vanished. They were alone, truly alone, for the first time in human history. Magnificent desolation, the paradox of lunar beauty. What kind of world could leave an astronaut speechless? A place so haunting that even triumph felt hollow, and beauty carried the chill of loneliness. The world saw glory. Buzz Aldrin saw silence. He would later coin the phrase, magnificent desolation. It was the perfect contradiction, the only way to describe a place where triumph meets emptiness. The lunar landscape, as Aldrin described it, was a canvas of endless grey dust and jagged shadows stretching on Earth. Silence is rare. The hum of wind, the rustle of leaves, the buzz of life are constants we never question. On the moon, that comfort is gone. Aldrin and Armstrong were enveloped in an oppressive stillness, a void so complete that it pressed on the mind like weight. Even their own movements seemed alien, their voices mechanical through radio static. For Aldrin, that silence became more profound than any sound. It was the first time he had truly felt what it meant to be alone in the universe. What surprised him most was not the barrenness, but the strange sense of reverence it inspired. The moon wasn't just lifeless, it was sacred in its emptiness. Every footprint they made, every motion they took, carried the gravity of being the first humans to disturb a world untouched since the dawn of time. You realize, Aldrin said, that you're not just walking on dust, you're walking on history, cosmic history. And yet that sacredness was laced with melancholy. The same view that filled the world with pride filled Aldrin with humility. When he looked back at Earth, a glowing orb hanging against an infinite black, he saw not borders or nations, but fragility. From that vantage point, humanity's conflicts and ambitions seemed absurdly small. It's no wonder he once admitted, "I felt like I was looking at our home through the eyes of the universe itself." The sensory distortion. But Aldrin's emotions weren't just philosophical, they were visceral. The surface itself played tricks on the senses, the horizon closer than expected, shadows deeper than imagined, colors muted to an almost oppressive gray. The sun was blinding without atmosphere to soften it, and every move required thought, precision, control. It wasn't a playground, it was survival. And yet, even in that sterile silence, Aldrin felt something profound, an awareness of connection between man and cosmos. His description of the moon has since become part of spaceflight mythology. Magnificent desolation wasn't poetry. It was an attempt to name the unnameable. In those two words lies the essence of exploration, beauty and barrenness intertwined. To stand on the moon was to confront both the glory of human achievement and the emptiness that follows it. The world cheered when Aldrin and Armstrong planted the flag. But what Aldrin saw beyond that flagpole was the truth, that we are temporary visitors in an eternal void, sparks of consciousness flickering in cosmic darkness. The moon, in its stark perfection, reflected that truth back at him. It was magnificent, it was desolate, it was human. AI and the new lunar mysteries. Machines decode what humans felt. And now, decades later, as new explorers prepare to return, guided not by emotion but by algorithms, a new question emerges. Will technology see the moon the same way Aldrin did? Half a century after Buzz Aldrin gazed across that magnificent desolation, the moon is stirring again. But this time it's not human eyes alone studying its face. Artificial intelligence, robotic scouts and machine learning now peer into craters Aldrin once walked near, decoding secrets hidden beneath the dust. For Aldrin, the moon was a mirror for the human spirit. For AI, it's a data set, yet somehow both are searching for the same thing, meaning. The Apollo missions gave us photographs and samples, but today's scientists have something the astronauts didn't: the ability to see the unseen. Using deep learning algorithms, NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter now maps the moon's surface with astonishing precision. These systems can detect mineral compositions, analyze shadows for signs of water ice, and model crater formations millions of years old. What was once lifeless gray is now a digital world alive with information. In 2023, NASA's Lunar Vision AI processed terabytes of imagery to identify cold traps, regions in eternal shadow where ice may lie frozen for billions of years. These pockets of ice could sustain future astronauts, provide fuel, and even reveal traces of the early solar system. What Aldrin once called a silent world is, in fact, whispering to us through data. Other missions, like Japan's SLIM lander and India's Chandrayaan-3, have used AI navigation to land autonomously with meter-level precision. Machines now do what only human instinct once could: adapt to lunar terrain, analyze conditions, and make split-second decisions in alien environments. The moon, once reached by muscle, courage, and human judgment, is now being understood by algorithms that can think faster than any astronaut could. And yet, this new intelligence is still tracing Aldrin's footsteps. When AI reconstructs the topography of the Sea of Tranquility, it maps the very region where Aldrin and Armstrong walked. It's a strange full circle, the human heart and machine mind meeting on ancient dust. "If there's one thing the moon teaches us," Aldrin once said, "it's that exploration never ends. It just changes form." The discoveries. AI is revealing. But perhaps the most profound shift lies not in what we see on the moon, but in how we interpret it. Artificial intelligence doesn't feel awe or fear. It doesn't cry before an image of the Earth hanging in darkness. Yet, through its cold logic, AI may uncover the same truths Aldrin felt instinctively: that the moon is not dead, but deeply connected to our story. Consider the recent discovery of mysterious volcanic glass beads scattered across lunar plains. AI-assisted spectrometry revealed they contain traces of water, suggesting the moon's interior might still hold volatile materials, remnants of ancient cosmic processes. What Aldrin once described as lifeless dust may, in fact, carry the echoes of Earth's own formation. The moon, once thought sterile, might hold the keys to our planetary origins. Even more astonishing, neural network models have reinterpreted Apollo-era seismic data, suggesting that the moon's core may be partially molten, a revelation that redefines its history. These are not just scientific curiosities, they are reminders that the moon still has secrets, that Aldrin's tears were not only about the past, but the vast unknown that remains. The partnership of heart and algorithm. As artificial intelligence unravels these mysteries, one can't help but imagine how Aldrin would feel. Would he see this technological curiosity as an extension of his own wonder? In interviews, he often spoke about the need to blend human imagination with machine precision. "The machines can get us there," he said, "but they can't feel what it means to arrive." That distinction between knowledge and understanding defines this new lunar era. AI can measure, predict, and simulate the moon in exquisite detail, but it cannot stand in awe beneath its black sky. It cannot tremble at the sight of Earth's fragile glow. For all its intelligence, it lacks the one thing that made Aldrin weep: consciousness. And yet, perhaps that's the beauty of this moment. Humanity and AI are now partners in rediscovery. Together, they bridge emotion and information, turning the moon into both a scientific archive and a spiritual mirror. The algorithms might decode its structure, but Aldrin's humanity still gives it meaning. When Buzz Aldrin said, "The moon is not what you think," maybe he was speaking for both past and future, warning us that even when we see everything, we might still not understand it. Because some truths, whether written in dust or in data, can only be felt, not calculated. Conclusion: the eternal echo. The moon changed Buzz Aldrin forever, not through mystery but through meaning. Its silence spoke louder than history itself, reminding us what it means to be small, curious, and human. As new explorers rise, his tears still echo across time. The moon is not what we think. It never was. And perhaps that's exactly why we must keep returning, to learn not what's out there, but what lies within us.